Gaurapremanandi, Srila Prabhupada Ki, Panihati Chipped Rice Festival Ki, Gaurapremanandi. Om Agyantimandasya Gyananjala Salakaya Chakshun Militam Dina Tasmai Shri Gave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manupistam Sthapitamina Bhuttale Swayam Upakaramayam Dadati Swavanantikam Namam Vishnubhara Krishabhasta Bhuttale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Govani Pachayane Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pasachari Sacharine Vanshakapa Tubasha Kripa Sinibevacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pavanityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shri Vasari Go Bhaktabinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So first of all, thank you so much for allowing me to say a few words today on this wonderful day of Panihati Chipped Rice Festival, one of my favorite pastimes. And also I'd like to ask for the blessings of all the especially senior devotees and assembled Vaishnavas, so that I can say some words of some little inspiration. So, first of all, let me express that I find this so befitting that the third day of our Kirtan festival is this Panihati festival. It's the more confidential part, and it actually matches perfectly, because for 2 days we were chanting the holy name, and the essence of this Panihati Leela is actually the importance of developing a genuine selfless service attitude. And these two aspects of devotional life, they're like the tracks, the 2 tracks on which we move forward on the Goloka Vrindavan Express, you know? So it's all about getting on deeper levels of chanting, in parallel developing a genuine selfless service attitude, especially towards the devotees. And that's the essence of this Panihati Chipped Rice Festival. We will discuss in a minute. So one without the other will not lead to success. So if we only chant, but we don't develop a service attitude, we will not make much progress. And the same way, just running around serving, without getting on deeper levels of chanting, will also not get us forward, because the chanting connects our service with Krishna, with the transcendental platform. So both are highly required, and we can actually say, if we just concentrate on these 2 aspects of devotional life, making an effort to get on deeper levels of chanting in japa as well as kirtan, and parallel developing that service attitude, guaranteed we will be successful if we just work on these 2 things. And interestingly, also Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in his book Amrita Vani, he makes the statement that chanting the holy name without longing to serve, he says, is useless. Wow, useless. Useless on the absolute platform, because chanting without longing to serve will not establish us in our eternal position of being servant. Yes. Of course, we all know even offensive chanting gives some little benefit that our reactions to sinful activities may be taken and so on. But on the level of bhakti, it will not do anything. Yes. So, and how can we chant longing to serve if we don't also develop a service attitude and practically manifest it, right? Yes. So this chanting and serving is so closely connected, and that's why I thought this is really excellent that this festival was arranged in such a way that the last day is this Panihati Chit Rice Festival. Yes, so let us now turn to the Leela, because there's so many nice instructions in this pastime. And that's why many temples in the world, they celebrate this. Some temples don't, but as I'm traveling quite a bit, so I see some temples don't, some temples do. Some temples even decorate the altar with all clay pots, with chipped rice and yogurt, chipped rice and condensed milk and so on, so that's maybe some little idea for next year. But the altar decoration is very, very beautiful with all these flowers, very nice. So in any case, first of all, let us remember Panihati, for those who don't know where it is. It is about 10 miles north of Calcutta. And this festival is now in June, which is extremely hot season in India. And that's why this preparation of chipped rice and yogurt is actually very cooling. Here we maybe don't need anything cooling. But nevertheless, just to see it in the context, so even this year I was in April in India, and oh my God, already there it was over 40 degrees. So yes, chipped rice and yogurt, perfect preparation to take when it's hot, because it cools down the body. So yeah, this whole Leela shows us how Raghunath Das achieved the mercy of Mahaprabhu. And we may know Raghunath Das is an eternal associate of the Lord. He's actually Rasa Manjari in Krishna Leela. Yes. So, and he came from a very wealthy family, very wealthy. And he had actually a beautiful wife. He was married at that time. And his parents did not really like that Raghunath Das was so attracted to leaving everything behind and joining Mahaprabhu, because that's that urge he had, that he wanted to leave all the opulence, even family life. He had a strong tendency to renunciation. So his parents didn't like that. So amazingly, even in those days, we come across this, that sometimes the parents don't like it when their children join the Hare Krishnas, they want to take to renunciation. So even in those days, this was there. And also it is said that actually, even though Raghunath Das, he is an eternal associate of the Lord, but his parents actually were not pure devotees. That's also interesting, that an eternal associate of the Lord takes birth in a family where the parents are actually not pure devotees. They were attached, and they wanted their son to be a good citizen and perform their duty, his duty in family life, and. So Raghunath, he tried to run away and go to Jagannath Puri and meet Mahaprabhu. But no matter how hard he tried, he was not successful. Because what happened, his parents, they arranged some guards. And they always caught Raghunath and they brought him back. No matter how much he tried to escape his situation. So, and then one day, Nityananda, Lord Nityananda was in the area, so Raghunath Das managed to get his darshan. And Nityananda Prabhu advised him, you go back to your family and inwardly you cultivate detachment. But externally, you act like an ordinary person, fulfilling your family duties. So this is already a good instruction for us, for family life, that externally we do our duties very accurately and responsibly, but internally we cultivate detachment. We cultivate this longing. When will the day come when I can more deeply absorb myself again in devotional life? So actually renunciation doesn't just mean we run away from our duties, Very often we come across this. But no, renunciation actually means that we give up this tendency to enjoy within these family relationships. That's what renunciation means, Yeah, we don't want to enjoy within these family relationships, but we perform our duties with all affection, with all care, with all attention. Yes, very, very important to understand. And there is a nice verse in the 7th canto, 14th chapter, that's entitled Perfect Family Life, Ideal Family Life. There is such a nice instruction, which is also relevant to us, and it perfectly fits to this Leela. It says, an intelligent man in human society should make his own program of activities very simple. If there are suggestions from his friends, children, parents, brothers, or anyone else, he should externally agree, saying, yes, yes, that is all right. But internally, he should be determined not to create a cumbersome life in which the purpose of life will not be fulfilled. So when I read this the first time years ago, I was actually cracking up laughing, because I thought, how amazing, how practical is the Bhagavatam, How often do we find ourselves in this situation where parents, brothers, children, friends, or anyone else make so many smart suggestions what we should do, especially when they're not devotees. But what do? Externally we agree, yes, yes, that is all right. But internally we, keep our focus on the ultimate goal of getting out of the material world, So in the similar way, Raghunath Das was advised, so externally you please your parents, you perform your duties, and internally you called renunciation. And that's exactly what he did. He went home, and then, the parents were so relieved. Finally he came to his senses, and he's doing his duties nicely. Thank God, Yes. But of course, Raghunath Das didn't give up this desire to join Mahaprabhu. So then after a while, again, he tries to escape. But again, the guards were catching him. And it almost became a daily affair, that he was trying to run off. Even though he had such a beautiful wife, so much wealth, so much opulence. And then actually, Raghunath Das's mother, she says to his father, I think we have to tie him up, And then his father says, you foolish woman, if even his wealth and his beautiful wife can't tie him, What's the use of trying to tie him up with ropes? Even those ropes cannot tie him, you know. Yes. So then, again, Lord Nityananda came with all his associates to the banks of the Ganges under a big tree. He was sitting there surrounded by his associates and disciples. And again, Raghunath snuck off, met him. So then Lord Nityananda sees him from far away and he says, "Oh, there's Raghunath coming. He is a thief. He should be punished." So why is he a thief? That took me a while to understand, actually. Why is he a thief? Because he tried to reach Mahaprabhu without getting the mercy of Lord Nityananda, who is the eternal spiritual master. That's why he's a thief. Yes. So then, jokingly, Nityananda gave him this punishment. You feed all my associates with chit rice and yogurt. And because Raghunath Das was actually coming from a wealthy home, he had the means to do this. So he happily embraced this order and he made these huge arrangements, you know, yes. Getting all these products, chipped rice, yogurt, condensed milk, bananas, camphor. Chaitanya Charitamrita is almost like a recipe book, you know. You get all these recipes of all these prasadam pastimes, you know. So he made these huge arrangements, you know, getting so many products, arranging it all, getting all these clay pots. We have this beautiful painting, this BBT painting in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's on the cover of that volume, which deals with that story, I think. You know, where you see all the people assembling. So big crowds came to get this chipped rice and yogurt that there was not even any room for people. They were standing in the water of the Ganges all over the place. You know, when you get home, you should try and find this picture. It's one of my favorite pictures. Actually, I have a nice little flat in Mayapur, and I have this picture painted in it as a big picture on my walls there, you know. So it's such a beautiful painting. So that's what happened. All the people that came from far and wide, they heard, oh, there's something happening. Let's go. And I mean, I've been quite involved in preaching in Bangladesh over the last 20 years. So in Bangladesh, you can still experience this. Whenever there is somewhere a program, some spiritual happening, people all come from all the villages. They're walking all day through the rice fields just to take part in this program. And then they just camp under a tree, sleep there overnight, and the next day they walk all the day back to their home, you know. So this also took place there. People were coming from far and wide. And Raghunath Das, he was just feeding them all, getting more and more products, feeding everybody. So then even the shopkeepers came. They heard, oh, there's something happening. Let's go there with chipped rice, yogurt, bananas, all the ingredients. Maybe we can do some business there. You find that also on Navadvip Mandala Parikrama, for example, you know. There's always, at the camps where we stay overnight, all the shopkeepers are there trying to sell some drinking water and bead bags and whatnot. So, yes, all the shopkeepers came. So what did Raghunath Das do? He bought their products, transformed it into prasadam, and fed them back to the shopkeepers. That's how generous he was. He did not distinguish, you know, and discriminate. Oh, these are Nityananda's associates and those are not. No, he didn't. He just fed everybody, like we here fed everybody yesterday, so generously. Actually, I was talking all day there to people in my bookstore, and I met so many people yesterday who came the very first time here to New Govardhana. Yes. So this festival is not only nourishing for devotees, but I was amazed. I was asking them, so how did you hear about it? How did you know? Oh, somehow through friends and through internet and whatnot. Yeah, so and everybody was fed generously without charging. This is the spirit. Yes. This is actually such an important part of our Vaishnav culture, that we are meant to generously distribute prasadam. And actually, the grihastas, their responsibility is to actually give in charity, and they should actually finance massive prasadam distribution. It's one part of the duty of the grihast ashram, actually. Yes. Yeah, so I was very impressed yesterday that all this festival goes on without charging, because in many parts of the world, you have to buy a little prasadam coupon and this and that, or the wristband. There's different color wristbands, one where you paid for prasadam and one where you didn't pay for prasadam. But yeah, Chaitanya Charitamrita, you don't read about, festival fees and prasadam coupons, It's all generously distributed, and Raghunath Das set such a wonderful example of this, Yeah, so, and then all these people were there with 2 clay pots in their arms, one with chipped rice and yogurt, one with chipped rice and condensed milk, and everybody was in ecstasy. Lord Nityananda, he was sitting there with his close associates, and he felt like, this is like the picnic we had when we were cowherd boys, when we had the picnics on the banks of the Yamuna. And their hearts were all flooded with pure love, and they were calling out, Hari, Hari, and in great ecstasy. Yeah, so, and then this amazing thing happened, that actually Lord Nityananda, because he was so pleased how Raghunath Das, served all his associates, and not only them, but everyone, that in meditation, he brought Lord Chaitanya there. But most people couldn't see that. Only the eternal associates of the Lord could see, oh, there is now Lord Chaitanya also here. And then what did they do? They went together through the crowds of people, and they were pinching some little bit of prasadam from their pots and feeding it into each other's mouths, taking the remnants of all these people who were enjoying this prasadam there. And most people could only see Nityananda, and they were wondering, what the hell is he doing there, And only very few could see what was actually going on, that they were feeding each other, the Mahaprasadam. Yeah, so this was just such an amazing event, and Lord Chaitanya observed how Lord Nityananda was dancing in ecstasy in the kirtans there, which in the evening were taking place in Raghava Pandit's house and his temple nearby. So everybody was going there having kirtan afterwards, like we were having. And yes, Nityananda's dancing is so amazing, so beautiful, that attracts Mahaprabhu. So wherever Nityananda dances, Mahaprabhu is there. Yes, so, and then also Raghunath Das, he got that Mahaprasadam also from Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya, and got the mercy, the blessings. So then, next day, Lord Nityananda, again, he was under his tree there. Raghunath Das, one more time, he's begging for blessings to finally receive Lord Chaitanya's mercy and shelter. So, and then Nityananda says, actually Nityananda asks all the associates to give their blessings to Raghunath Das. You know, he made it very clear. Actually, in order to reach Mahaprabhu, we have to get the blessings of Guru. In order to get the blessings of Guru, we have to get the blessings of the devotees. We have to satisfy and please them. And this also, Nityananda very nicely, he gave that instruction for us, you know, because he didn't just say, yes, Raghunath, you will get my blessings. He also gave his blessings, but he also asked all the devotees, you all please bless him. You know, very instructive for us, you know. Yes, and then, you know, Mahaprabhu, Nityananda put his feet on Raghunath Das's head, you know, so he really got the mercy, he really got the blessings. But again, he tells him, so yes, you will very soon be able to get the mercy of Mahaprabhu and get his shelter. Because you pleased all the devotees, you followed my instruction of satisfying everybody with this wonderful prasadam. So, and that attracted Mahaprabhu's mercy. And very soon, rest assured, you will get it. But for now, go back to your family. One more time, you know. You had to go back to the family. But Raghunath Das, at that point, he also gives in charity, because, you know, he's got the means, and he arranged for a whole mountain of gold coins there, and Raghava Pandit was helping him to distribute it, because he did not only give in charity to Lord Nityananda, but also to all his closer associates and assistants. Yes. Of course, it was proportionally a little less, naturally, you know. So then Raghava Pandit, he writes up a whole, whatever, you know, a whole sheet there, who is getting how many gold coins. So he was assisting him in his desire to give in charity. And even that part of the culture you still find in Bangladesh. You know, I have traveled there with some devotees from the West, taking them along and showing them, giving some insights, because Bangladesh is really the place to experience the Vaishnava culture. Because for those who don't know, Bangladesh is East Bengal. It's the place where most of Mahaprabhu's associates come from. So Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, even Narottam Das Thakur comes from there. Pundarik Vidyanidhi, Mukunda Datta, Vasudev Datta. Even Mahaprabhu's parents, Sachimata and Jagannath Mishra, they come from what is today Bangladesh. You can even visit today Jagannath Mishra's residency. It's falling apart, but you can touch the original steps where Jagannath Mishra walked up. They're not renovated. It's the original stones. Yes. Very amazing. You know, there's so many holy places. There's also Madhavendra Puri's original Bhajan Kutir. That's 2 generations before, you know, Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu's spiritual master was Ishwar Puri, his spiritual master Madhavendra Puri. So that his original Bhajan Kutir, untouched, is in Bangladesh. Yes, I mean, it's a whole treasure house of holy places and culture, which you can still experience today, because it is a Muslim country, but that preserves our Vaishnava culture, because the Muslims are not so fond of all the Western Kali Yuga nonsense ideas. So it's so traditional. It's like entering Chaitanya Charitamrita when you travel there. Rupa Prabhu has been there. I once took him for a tour, and we had a lot of fun there. Yeah, so it's a whole different planet. It really is, you know. And I've been involved there for 20 years, and there's no Western devotees living there. So when I'm there, I'm only with the locals. I travel with them, I live with them, I eat with them, I preach with them. And I've learned so many things from them, my God. You know, so because I feel we really have to actually experience what it looks like when our philosophy is simply lived in a very natural way, you know. Yes, because that's still lacking a little bit, you know, and it's not surprising, you know, because our culture we are surrounded here is very, very different, you know. So my whole worldview, got completely turned upside down there over the 20 years, you know. Yeah, but in any case, I have experienced this when I was somewhere at a program or invited for lunch, and then people give a donation. They don't only gave me a donation, but also to my assistants. They also gave them an envelope too. And they were all speechless, huh? Why are we getting an envelope here? You know, what am I going to do with a donation, me? What for? You know, so they were all perplexed. But that's actually the culture. You know, that because we want to cultivate the mood of servant of the servant. So we don't only, you know, serve guru and you know, sadhus, but actually also their servants. And then we cultivate that mood of servant of the servant of the servant, you know. Yes. So then after that, Raghunath Das, okay, after he gave in charity in a very humble way, not in a proud way or something, but very humble way, he gave his charity. So and then he went home. But from that day on, he didn't sleep inside the house anymore. He slept on some mandap, on some platform where they were performing different pujas to the demigods. So that's where he was sleeping. And he was just cultivating this longing, you know, this longing. When will the day come when I can finally achieve the shelter of Mahaprabhu's lotus feet? So then, Yadunandanacharya, he is actually the Diksha Guru of Raghunath Das. And he one day came and he said to Raghunath Das, actually we have a problem here at the temple. The local pujari, he has given up his service. And maybe you can go and preach to him. So even in those days, these things happened. That the pujari gives up his service, and then there's some calamity there. So Raghunath Das happily accepted that idea. Okay, it was in the evenings. Okay, let's go and preach to this pujari. So they both walked off, and then Raghunath tells his spiritual master, yeah, I will go there. No need for you to come along. I will go and preach to him. But then he took that opportunity to escape, and he ran off, you know? Yes. So, very interesting story because, and he did not go the main road because he knew the guards would notice sooner or later they would run after him and catch him. So he went all the back way through the jungle. Oh my God, he really suffered some austerity there. And then next morning, of course, everybody noticed, wow, Raghunath Das is gone. So what happened? So interesting, they asked Yadunandanacharya, they said, where's Raghunath? And he gives this interesting answer. Yadunandanacharya says, he asked my permission and he returned home. He asked my permission and he returned home. So it was like, you know, some unspoken agreement there between Yadunandanacharya and Raghunath Das that this was a good opportunity for him to leave and go to Jagannath Puri. Yes, yes. So Raghunath Das got that permission from his Diksha Guru in an unspoken way. So then, of course, the guards went along the main road. They couldn't find him, but they found a whole party of devotees going to Jagannath Puri to join Mahaprabhu there. So they were asking, so is Raghunath in your party here? Where is he? Where is he? But of course he wasn't. He went the back way. So, so in this way, Raghunath Das, he actually walked for 12 days and nights non-stop. Sometimes he was staying overnight somewhere in some cow shed, sleeping a few hours. He didn't care about eating or anything, whatever came his way. Sometimes he got, some water. Actually, not water, but milk. On 3 days, he got some food out of these 12 days where he was walking, So he just, nothing could stop him. He was willing to accept any inconvenience, any tapasya, to reach Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. Yes, yes. So, and let me share one little nice comment Prabhupada makes in connection with this importance of being willing to do anything and everything to actually get pure bhakti, because that is another nice instruction we can get from this pastime, So there is one nice purport that is 2nd Canto, 9th chapter, verse 24. Prabhupada says so nicely, in executing penance, one must be determined to return home back to Godhead and must decide to undergo all types of tribulations for that end. Even for material prosperity, name and fame, one has to undergo severe types of penance. Otherwise, no one can become an important figure in this material world. Yes, let's remember that, So if we want to achieve any success, even material success, we have to be willing to undergo severe tapasya. So that Prabhupada continues, why then are there severe types of penance for the perfection of devotional service? And now he says, an easygoing life and attainment of perfection in transcendental realization cannot go together. I really like that one. Easygoing life. There's no room for easygoing life if we actually want to cultivate pure devotional service. No room for easygoing life. If we look for easygoing life, well, of course, we can still have some corner even in Krishna consciousness with easygoing life, but then we cannot be surprised if we actually don't get a deeper taste, if Krishna doesn't reveal himself, So then Prabhupada continues, the Lord is more clever than any living entity. Therefore, he wants to see how painstaking the devotee is in devotional service. The order is given from the Lord, either directly or through the bona fide spiritual master. And to execute that order, however painstaking, is the severe type of penance. One who follows the principle rigidly is sure to achieve success in attaining the Lord's mercy. Yeah, so Raghunath Das really demonstrated this, that he was willing, to really perform severe austerities in order to escape from his family life and meet Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri. And yeah, easygoing life has no room there, you see, because that's how Krishna works. He wants to see. I thought my lecture is a little more interesting than that. Yeah, so Krishna wants to see how painstaking we are, how much we are willing to sacrifice our very life, our energy, for pleasing the Lord, yes, for serving Prabhupada's mission. So, and Krishna reciprocates accordingly, when he sees that a devotee really sacrifices himself. So then he reveals himself, because realization don't come through studies, merely studies. No, realizations are given by the Lord. They're awarded by the Lord proportionally to how much we sacrifice ourselves in service. Yes. Yeah, so that's how it works, And there is even a heavy statement also in the Bhagavatam where Prabhupada says, to actually be willing to lay down one's life in order to serve Guru and please him. That is the secret of success. And that was also one of Prabhupada's secrets of success, that he took that instruction so to heart, and he was willing to completely sacrifice his very life. And then a devotee can become an instrument in Krishna's hands. Yes, yes. Yeah, so then, the story continues. So finally, Raghunath Das manages to reach Jagannath Puri, and he comes to Mahaprabhu, and he embraces him, and so on, and is so happy to see him. And then also, interestingly, Lord Mahaprabhu puts him under the guidance of Swarup Damodar. He says, even though Raghunath Das is an eternal associate of the Lord, but still, he says, so you serve under Swarup Damodar, because that is also actually a sign of an advanced devotee. The more we advance, the more we want to be under the guidance of somebody, because we are so humble. We consider ourselves, not very advanced. So again, we want to become the servant of the servant of the servant. So therefore, we feel most comfortable to serve under somebody. Yes. 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 So, and of course, Raghunath Das, he was very known for his strong renunciation, We can read, whoever has time, you can read the Leela today. It's in Antya 6, Antya Leela, chapter 6, and the Leela starts with the verse 42, 43, there it kind of starts all. So, Raghunath Das, he only ate the grains which were rejected by the cows in Jagannath Puri from the Jagannath Mahaprasadam. So, the devotees eat it, people eat it. So then when it goes a little funny, the cows eat it. So whatever the cows don't eat, Raghunath Das collected those grains, and he washed them, and he ate them. Yeah, that's how severe tapasya Raghunath Das performed. Of course, we cannot imitate this, so please don't go to the prasadam bin there and and take the grains out and wash them. You may get sick or something. Yeah, no, we cannot artificially jump up there to such high levels and try and imitate and so on, and just make a show or how advanced I am. I just take the grains from the bin, No, no need. It's just a false ego again, getting in our way there. Yes, but no. Yeah, so and once Mahaprabhu even came to him and said, Raghunath, what nectar are you eating? Give me some grains. And Raghunath said, no, my lord, this is not for you. But Mahaprabhu insisted, and he snatched some of those grains. Oh, this is like nectar, Yeah, so in any case, this wonderful Leela has so many nice instructions, but the essence is really, to get Krishna's mercy, we have to get Guru's mercy. To get Guru's mercy, we have to get the Vaishnava's mercy. We have to serve and please the Vaishnavas. Actually, we can almost say, we should become obsessed of this idea. Where can I find a Vaishnava who I can serve? Yes. That's the secret of success. And I have to frankly say, the longer I am in Krishna consciousness, the more I realize this, that serving the devotees, that's the key to success, plus chanting the holy name. And I want to share, just 5 minutes, I want to share one more nice thing about the importance of service attitude, which I feel is very encouraging for all of those who may not be able to practically manifest the service. If you're grihasta, if you have 5 little kids or something, you may just not be able to perform much service. So what to do? Or when you're in an elderly body that almost falls apart, you may not be able to actually practically manifest so much service. But one thing is, no material circumstances can stop bhakti from growing. That's also important to understand. There is no material condition that stops bhakti from growing. So I want to read you, as a final thing, this nice purport from 8th Canto, 23rd chapter, verse 2. So there, Prabhupada explains, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is known as Bhavagrahi Janardhan because he takes only the essence of a devotee's attitude. If a devotee sincerely surrenders, the Lord, as the Supersoul in everyone's heart, immediately understands this. Thus, even though externally a devotee may not render full service, if he is internally sincere and serious, the Lord welcomes his service nonetheless. Thus, the Lord is known as Bhavagrahi Janardhan because he takes the essence of one's devotional mentality. So this is really profound, So let us imagine a mother with 5 children who cannot do much service. If she cultivates this longing, if she meditates, when will the day come when I can make a garland for Radha Govardhana Dari? I wish I could, but I can't. If she has that mood in her heart, Krishna sees it and he accepts the essence of her service attitude. And she gets exactly the same spiritual benefit as that lady who makes the garland. And maybe even more, because maybe that person who makes the garland just makes it mechanically out of duty. But that other person who doesn't even make the garland, she has that devotional longing in the heart. So she may even get more benefit. So I find this is it's very encouraging news for grihastas who feel, one might think, What are they contributing, these mothers? All they have is babies, they're not doing much. From a managerial point of view, it may look like that. But so often we forget what an important service it is to raise children in Krishna consciousness. I have a whole 15-hour course on this topic. Yes, because we tend to think children are a disturbance and, I wish I could do some service at the temple and, these kids, they are in my way. But no, if we take that service seriously, to actually give this soul right from the very beginning, the very best opportunity to go back to Godhead in this lifetime, this puts a whole different dimension to married life, if we take it seriously. Because then we have to create a whole culture of sadhana in the house. We have to be exemplary. We have to shape up. We have to plant that seed of bhakti in the child's heart. So it's an amazing service that really inspires and motivates, hopefully, the parents to actually be Krishna conscious. So, but yes, just to make that point, that even though externally it may seem like, we cannot contribute so much, but if we cultivate this longing, not surrendering to the fact, oh, well, I can't do anything too bad, but no, it's all about the mood and attitude in the heart. And Krishna will accept it, and we will get benefit. And if we have that longing, we will surely recognize the moment when we can do some service. Yes, but if we give up that longing, then the opportunities may be right in front of our nose, but we don't even see them because we are not longing. Yes. So on that note, I want to finish. It's 9 o'clock. Yeah, so thank you kindly for listening so patiently. And last little comment for those who have not seen me out there on the book table. I published a few books, so if anybody is curious, please come over there. It's probably maybe the last day when I'm out there at the book table. So maybe we'll leave it at that and don't ask questions because it's 9 o'clock, and 10 o'clock we have that procession and the whole fun picnic thing there. So yes, maybe we'll just leave it at that. And if you have any questions, please come and see me out there. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Panihati Trip Rice Festival ki, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki, Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bom.